furnace. What a pain. So, hole, you see the hole? That's because I took this thing out. Flip it around here. Flip it around. So this is the motor housing. Take this off here and remove the screws. See the motor? Don't work. It's all bound up. So we're going to try to fix this thing here. That's what we're going to try to do. Replace it. Motor. Alright. In the bag. Is a new wheel. And a new motor. So let's see if we can figure out what's up. So looks like it sits like this. See that? Okay, so let's get myself out of this tight position here. Turn my light on. Boom. Now we can see what we're doing. Grab a pair of glasses so I can really see what I'm doing. Hello. Okay, so we have in here some wires. See if we need those or not. Not for every case. Flip this thing up, and on the end you have a button. And this button was broken, so it looks like that was probably the problem, huh? This thing is cracked. So see if we can figure out how this thing comes off of here. The new one does come with a new button. It almost looks like there's a nut on the end of this thing. Yeah. Always got to be something that's a little interesting here. I have that off. I'm just not sure which one I want to use. Let me pry it off there. There it goes. All right. Not that I really need to do that, right? Because the new motor, see if I don't get myself all confused here. Which is easy to do when you're working on this stuff. Come back here. So there's a flat shaft here. I'm gonna make sure you get the flat part of this thing on here. I'm gonna give you a new button. This is where it goes up against the and yeah, should find out where these screw holes were. Find out where these things line up at. Looks like it's about there. I don't think it's like a multiple position thing. I think the wire was on the bottom here. Okay. Well, that's good. See, there it is. Da 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 da. Still don't like the way it looks though. Okay. Can't really see it real good from your angle, I'm sure. And then we put 2 screws back in this thing. I think it'd be simple enough. There's one. Here's the other screw. I just don't like when motors sit in there sideways. It helps to have a DeWalt cordless driver. Okay, so this new squirrel cage is what I'm looking for now. See if I can find a new squirrel cage. Okay, so that's this. The old squirrel cage doesn't look like it's in that bad shape. Could just use it over again. I was able to get it off by using a torch outside and taking the Allen screw out. I think I'll just probably reuse it. And filling the weights of them. $53 for that thing. So, you have to think about it. I'll do that. Now this one here has a shaft on it too. There's a shaft on it right there. Same thing. It's keyed, so you have to have an Allen screw on the shaft. Figure that one out. Should be pretty simple. Sliding it on here. Slid it on there. And then you take the Allen wrench here and stick it in there. Now I may have messed this up because sometimes I'll get things backwards. Before I put that wheel back on, I think I was supposed to put this back on. I think I got a little ahead of myself. I think I had to take that off first. Order of operations. And I know sometimes it's easy to do. The order of operations out of sequence. Put that on first. And make sure I have the right screws here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's how they went. So there's one. This one has the wire on it. So they can go ahead and stick that wire back on before I have to take it back off. Wire. So it's a simple project. It's just when you're nailed over in the tight spot, you're dealing with multiple issues at one time. It can be a little bit much for the body to tolerate. So you have to make sure that you remember the order of operations so you don't mess up, which I sometimes get challenged with myself. I've done like 2 of these in the last 6 years. I don't see a whole lot of these type ones, these type inducers. Most of the other inducers are just one piece, and they come from the factory take 3 or 4 screws out of the unit, put 3 or 4 screws back in. They're all one piece. This company here, Payne, they properly named it Payne. P-A-Y-N-E. Okay, now we have it. Now we put the fan back on. Hopefully I got that right. That goes up against the housing with this piece of. They didn't give me a new gasket though. That's the only thing. They didn't give me the gasket. See that gasket? Yeah. Anyway, there it is. See? And we put this back on. And that makes more sense. I'm trying to find the flat part again on the shaft. The keyed, I call it the keyed shaft. Barely slide it on there. Get the Allen wrench in here. And tighten it up. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. That's what you gotta remember. Only in gas or in bicycle pedals do you have things going the wrong way, the opposite direction to keep things from coming loose. Oh, that's right. I'm just going to put the old one back. That's right. I remember. There was nothing wrong with this thing. We can take the other one back. I remember. I was thinking I was going to have to cut this thing off from here because I couldn't get this Allen screw out. So I went outside, sprayed PB Blaster on it. Just soaked it, PB Blaster, and then I hit it with a torch with that nap gas, and I broke it loose. I was like, all right. So see, goes around, without making any noise. That's what we want. Look at this wire. See, it's gonna bang up against this. Yeah, it's gonna bang up against that. So what I'm gonna do is back off the screw here. Try to turn this thing around this way so that when it goes, it doesn't make a bunch of noise. Cut the ground wire off. So anyway, there it goes, rolling away. Flip this thing around. And there we go. We got it. So the rest is a gasket goes on there. And I could go get some silicone, but I'm gonna try to see if it'll stick. Only the other part of the gasket here, which is still on there. See how they got it on there still? So I'm gonna try. Try. I'm trying to get it to work. We're in a tight spot. Tight. So let me flip it this way. There it is. See? So this left is right and right is left now. Okay, so now we have part of a gasket. Nothing's going to say that the gasket's in there. It should hold it. That's what I'm going to say. And then I threw these screws in here. Try to find the screw holes. Let me see where they are. I forgot this thing upside down or something. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Maybe I had it upside down. Easy to do these things upside down. Life is sometimes upside down. Yeah. Well, even right side up, it's hard. So let me grab the drill. This would a helper would come in handy, or having a fourth hand. But since I don't have a fourth hand or a helper, I'm just gonna manage to do it myself. So there's one. And here's two. If we can get it in there, we'll be doing fine. Well, for some reason it doesn't want to go in. I don't know why. There's a lot of fuzz on the end of the screw. It's probably messing with my light. I can't see right. 1, 2, there's another third screw on the floor somewhere. I heard it rattling around earlier. Somehow I dropped it. There it is. Voila, the screw. The lovely screw, yes. Okay. And then, there we go. You gotta have like a really long extension. There. That's the trick. All right, now that's in there. Man, gotta hook it back up. The inducer motor wires. Let's see where they're at here. Hook it back up these inducer motor wires. And then, once the inducer motor wires up, back up. And I gotta go back up to the control board. I'll put this thing around. This is really a lovely job. Here, look at that. Knock my hat right off. Yay. Okay, well, anyway, flip it around here. We'll take a look inside of the controls. And I taking this off somewhere back in here. Yes. And then the switch down there. Turn it back on. Fan motor kicked on because I pulled that plug. So it's going to reset itself. Don't know if I can do it for it. Might be able to reset it quicker by doing that. No. Still going to do the 5-minute delay. But anyway, that's how you put it back together. And you have to wait for a few minutes for this thing to reset itself. You can do it another way. You have to know which one to pull, which thing to pull on that. Because what it does when you pull the plug, it sends the circuit board into panic mode. You know, it thinks there's a fire or a problem, so it turns the blower motor on to cool itself down because it thinks it's too hot. It thinks there's a problem. So that's what's going on. Sometimes find the right one to pull out. I'm looking. A bunch of neutrals here. You got your hots here. You got your motor relays. Then they put the transformer into the hot to feed the transformer off the transformer, which is sitting here. So the transformer back in there. This one here, that's a transformer, one there. And this probably feeds the inducer motor. It really thought it was hot. There it goes. That's what it's supposed to do. Just gotta make sure this thing fires up. Good thing to make sure it fires up. Really close, ain't it? Really close. And we got that thing set. There's barely anything in there. There's hardly any clearance. Put some pressure on this. Wow. Put that. That's something, man, you gotta mess with everything, man. Anyway, we got fire in the hole. This is all good. So, got the furnace going. Changed the inducer motor. There's the old inducer motor right there. If you're in Lima, Hay Bakers is the place to get it. I didn't have to replace the fan. I was able to get it loose. But this is a little bit about the life of an HVAC technician. People don't have no heat. All right. Thanks for joining me today. HVAC guy Dave. And if you want to know who I am, it's me, Dave, HVAC guy. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you later.